So, the way that these gang stalkers use confusion as a weapon is outstanding. I mean, they wield it around as a form of abuse. And it takes a minute to be able to recognize that. You know, I think that their goal is to cause so much chaos and confusion around the target that the target has their head spinning. They don't know what's up or down or sideways, you know. They don't know what's going on. They use it to make the target feel like they're going crazy, essentially. But they will do things like instruct one of the gang stalkers to be extremely talkative one day. So if you're around this talkative gang stalker for a day and they are talking your head off about any and every single thing that they can think of, and I mean, to this excessive point that it makes it really obvious that something is awry, something's amiss, you know, it starts to become easy to point out. But then the next day, the very next day, they will instruct that same gang stalker to be so quiet as a church mouse. They'll tell them, do not open your mouth, do not talk about anything, so that you've got that gang stalker going from one extreme to the exact opposite extreme 2 days in a row. Or, for example, they tried to pull this one the other day. I live with gang stalkers, right? My gang stalkers are my roommates, period, poo. There is no disputing it. Those are simply the facts. I also live beside of gang stalkers in the apartment next to me. And one of my roommates despises one of my neighbors. Or at least that's what she told me when I first moved in. She talked about this neighbor, something awful, said that she could not stand her, couldn't stand to be around her. You know, they absolutely hated each other. Well, I come home yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, I'm not sure. But I came back home from being out in town, and I found these two people sitting in my living room having a conversation, but not just any old conversation. They were having a lovey-dovey, calling each other babe and sis, and whenever they ended the conversation and the neighbor went home, it was, I love you girl. You see, one extreme to the other. They hated each other. Now they are best friends, painting each other's fingernails, right? I really believe the intent is to have the targeted individual be like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, what is going on? Nothing makes sense. But memo to the gang stalkers, because I know you're watching this video too. Guys, the longer that all of this goes on, the easier it is to see your exact intentions and motives. You're not fooling anyone. And you're really not fooling me anymore. Especially since I've been to rehab and became sober. I am closer with God than I have ever been. And I always say that spirituality is just like NA and AA. It works if you work it. If you've got a clear, sound mind, if you are praying every day, if you are reading your Bible, God looks out for you. And that's exactly what's going on here with me and all of my gang stalkers. God lets me know exactly what you all are doing and why you're doing it. I don't know. Much love, collective.